Welcome to our deep dive into the fascinating geological history of Africa, a continent with a rich and complex history that spans over 4 billion years, from ancient rock formations to active volcanic regions. Africa's geology has played a key role in shaping not only its landscapes, but also its climate, ecosystems, and human history. In this video, we'll explore the major geological events that have shaped Africa, starting from the Precambrian era all the way through to current geological processes. Let's get started. Precambrian era, the beginning of Africa, formation of the continental crust. Our journey begins more than 4 billion years ago. During the Precambrian era, the very foundation of Africa's continental crust began to form during this time. These ancient rocks, some of the oldest on Earth, can be found in regions such as the Kopfel Craton in South Africa and the Pilbara Craton in Western Australia. These cratons are remnants of the early Earth and have remained relatively unchanged for billions of years, providing valuable insight into the planet's geological evolution. The Kopfel Craton is particularly important because it's home to some of the world's oldest rocks, dating back about 3.6 billion years, making it a key piece of Earth's history. Imagine, these rocks have witnessed the birth of continents, the rise of life, and countless changes over time. Supercontinents. Now, while these cratons were forming, Africa was also part of several ancient supercontinents. Supercontinents are massive landmasses that contain almost all the Earth's continents. The first known supercontinent to include Africa was Volbara, which formed around 3.6 billion years ago. Volbara was followed by another supercontinent called Ur, around 2.8 billion years ago. These early supercontinents started to break apart as the Earth's tectonic plates shifted, leading to the formation of new landmasses. But Africa wasn't done with supercontinents yet. Fast forward to about 550 million years ago, and Africa was part of Gondwana, one of the largest supercontinents of the Paleozoic and Mesozoic eras. Gondwana not only included Africa but also South America, Antarctica, Australia, and India. This ancient landmass played a major role in shaping the modern continents we see today. The breakup of Gondwana about 180 million years ago eventually led to the formation of the Atlantic Ocean and the separation of Africa from South America. Paleozoic and Mesozoic eras, mountains, oceans, and drift. Pan-African orogeny. Moving into the Paleozoic and Mesozoic eras, the Earth continued to evolve, and Africa saw dramatic geological changes. One of the most important events during this time was the Pan-African orogeny, a series of mountain-building events that occurred between 600 and 500 million years ago. These orogenies led to the formation of significant mountain ranges, such as the Atlas Mountains in North Africa and the Cape Fold Mountains in southern Africa. The Pan-African orogeny didn't just shape the landscape, it also helped form mineral-rich regions of Africa, which became vital for human history. These mountain-building events also contributed to the uplift of the land, leading to the development of valleys, plateaus, and basins across the continent. Breakup of Gondwana. Another critical geological event was the breakup of Gondwana, which began around 180 million years ago. As the tectonic plates continued to shift, Africa began to drift away from other continents. This process led to the formation of new oceans and seas, including the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean. During this time, Africa experienced significant geological activity, including the formation of large rift valleys and volcanic regions. This drifting apart of the continents also set the stage for some of the most dramatic geological events to come. As Africa separated from South America, the landmass began to evolve into the shape we recognize today. Cenozoic era, the age of rifts, volcanoes, and desert. African rift system. The Cenozoic era, which began 66 million years ago, brought some of the most visible and dramatic geological changes to Africa. One of the most important events during this era was the formation of the East African Rift System. Around 20 to 30 million years ago, the African tectonic plates began to pull apart, creating a vast rift valley stretching from the Red Sea to Mozambique. The East African Rift System is a prime example of continental rifting, where tectonic plates are slowly moving apart. This geological feature has shaped much of East Africa's landscape, creating deep valleys, active volcanoes, and some of the world's most famous geological formations, such as Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya. Over time, the rift will continue to widen, and one day, it could eventually lead to the splitting of Africa into two separate landmasses. Volcanic activity. Alongside the rifting, volcanic activity has played a major role in shaping Africa's landscape. Between 20 and 10 million years ago, widespread volcanic eruptions contributed to the formation of shield volcanoes, volcanic fields, and islands. The Great Rift Valley is home to several of the continent's most iconic volcanoes, including Mount Nyiragongo and Mount Etna. In addition to these, volcanic islands such as the Seychelles and Mauritius in the Indian Ocean were also formed through intense volcanic activity. These volcanic regions have not only altered the topography of Africa but also created rich soils that support diverse ecosystems. Desert formation. Africa is home to the world's largest hot desert, the Sahara Desert. The formation of the Sahara began around 4.2 million years ago and is closely tied to climate changes and shifts in Earth's atmospheric patterns. During the Cenozoic, significant changes in global climate and atmospheric circulation patterns led to the arid conditions that created the desert landscapes we see today. But the Sahara wasn't always a desert. Evidence suggests that, during certain periods in Africa's history, the Sahara was a lush, green region with lakes and abundant vegetation. As the climate dried, the desert began to expand, and today, it remains one of the most iconic natural features on the planet. Current geological processes, ongoing evolution, continental rifting and volcanism. Even today, Africa is still evolving. The East African Rift System continues to experience active rifting, and this geological process is responsible for the formation of new landforms and ongoing volcanic activity. In fact, the rifting process is so active that it's slowly separating the continent, and one day, Africa could split into two continents. Additionally, the continent remains home to numerous active volcanoes. Countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, and Eritrea experience regular volcanic activity. Mount Nyiragongo in the DRC, for instance, is known for its highly active lava lake, making it one of the most dangerous volcanoes on Earth. Seismic activity. Africa also experiences frequent earthquakes, particularly in regions around the East African Rift and the Algerian-Moroccan borders. These seismic events are a reminder of the tectonic forces still at work beneath the continent. While the earthquakes are usually not as destructive as those in other parts of the world, they remind us of Africa's dynamic and ever-changing geological nature. In conclusion, from the ancient rocks of the Kopfel Craton to the active rift valleys and volcanoes of East Africa, Africa's geological history is as vast and varied as the continent itself. These geological processes continue to shape the land, influencing everything from the continent's climate to the habitats of its diverse wildlife. Understanding Africa's geological past helps us better appreciate the continent's natural wonders and prepares us for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead as its landscape continues to evolve. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Africa's geological history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.